I've been asked for years to do a video coaching program from a lot of the readers of the blog and also a lot of people who have ordered my products. And I really want to, if I'm going to do a video coaching program and give you little snippets of what it's like to be coached, I need to find somebody who's willing to do that. Recently, a client of mine decided that he would be okay if we did some video coaching back and forth because, for one, he was going to benefit with it because he was going to get coached, and two, he was all right if you guys kind of heard his voice but not necessarily saw his face. So in the background right now, I've got one of my clients. Say hey.
Hello.
Okay, and his name is Steve. Maybe his real name, maybe it's not his real name. So right now this is going to be about advanced techniques. Okay, and any of you that have not familiar with my teachings, not familiar with my coaching, feel free to go and download any of my products. Also feel free to read the blog on a daily basis because it's going to give you some insight to what I'm all about and what I teach. Steve's 33 years old. You've had one serious relationship, right?
Yeah, it was my early 20s.
Okay. You've been single for how long, Steve?
Pretty much since then.
Okay. Your biggest stumbling block that made you come to me in the first place was?
Well, I don't really want to say it, but I hadn't had sex in years.
Okay. And you've had sex now, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. You were intimidated by women mostly. God, I remember when we went to that first bar that you and I went to that night, you were freaking out. I mean, you didn't know what to say after 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, it was, starting conversations was really tough for me, but I feel that I can easily, a lot more easily approach women and start conversations now, but just getting to that next level is really difficult.
Okay, you tried some other people's stuff too, didn't you? You tried some routines, some of the guys who practice who teach routines, right?
I've done it all. I mean, I did magic tricks. I'd wear these crazy hats and sunglasses, but it seems like it didn't really work out the way that they advertised.
Remember when you and I first started talking? All you said to me was, "How can I be like myself, but be a more powerful version of myself?" And I remember that was like your biggest frustration because you really wanted to meet women in places that you were most comfortable with, but you still wanted to be Steve. You didn't want to be Steve the magic trick guy. You didn't want to be Steve the guy that insulted women, because you've tried all those things and it just didn't make you feel comfortable. So where were you at with this? I mean, what made you finally reach out and say, "Hey, I'm actually a great guy"? What was that trigger point in your head?
Well, I guess I've always known that, but it just didn't translate to sexual encounters. I really don't know anything about magic, so I mean, if I was talking to a girl about a trick, it just didn't translate to anything other than entertaining her, making her laugh.
And then you had no follow-up conversation. I remember
Yeah,
that. I remember the first time you and I went out, you brought your deck of cards with you, and I thought it was the funniest thing in the entire world. I basically went and observed you, and I remember you walking across the street to the Hotel Angelino, the bar on top of on the Hotel Angelino, I think it's called West. I remember you and I going in there, and it was really, really funny because I said, "Steve, show me what you know." And I remember you walked up to those women, and I remember the blonde girl's expression, when she called you out, and I remember you running back like a scared little guy. I mean, here you are, you were 33, right? I keep forgetting how old you are. 33-year-old man, literally retreating into a corner, shaking when you went over there and said, remember exactly what you said because I was right behind you. You said, "Hey ladies, have you seen the new disappearing card trick?" or some goofy thing like that. And the woman says, "What, did you get that from a pickup book?" And you were like, "No, I've been doing card tricks my whole life." And then she interrogated you. She says, "Really, tell me how long you've been doing card tricks for. Tell me honestly how long, because I only date honest guys." And you said, "Okay, I just learned how to do this card trick a month ago." And then remember she said to you, she goes, "You did this card trick just to pick us up tonight, didn't you?" And she slammed you. Slammed you.
Thanks, David.
I know, but what's really important, about this, all right, is that you and I started talking because that was a breakthrough. Because I remember I sat down with you and I said, "All right, Steve, forget about the bar. Forget about this place." Remember I sat down with you right afterwards and I said, "Steve, where do you see women where you're most comfortable that you want to meet people?" And remember the 5 places you listed? Tell me about the 5 places you listed, and not one of them was